Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Orville Season 3, Episode 4, Gently Falling Rain. Now this was a bit of an odd episode. It was a good episode for the most part, but then towards the end, it got kind of complicated. And then at the very end, I was very disappointed. So this episode was very political, which I don't mind political stuff. Like, Star Trek's always been political and everything. I love the third season of Person of Interest that got very political and stuff. However, you're gonna do something this like political and something that recently just happened, it needs to pay off at the end, and I feel like it didn't. And once again, I feel like the last 20 minutes was just tacked on because they just don't know what they're gonna do. And so, and also when they do like their away missions, I still question why they send certain people. Like, it just don't make no sense. So in a way, this was an allegory of basically what happened in the 2016 election. And they really went like there and everything. So basically the episode, it starts off with a rendition of Annie. And so it's like, the Orville people, a couple of the admirals, and some Krill, diplomats and stuff. And so they're there, and after they watch the play, they're eating and stuff like that. This is very much similar to that of that one Star Trek original series movie where the Klingons and the Federation wants to make peace, and then there's one person that wants to sabotage everything. So they're talking and everything. They want to return to hospitality. So okay, fine, we get to go to your planet and stuff, which no human has truly ever really been, except for that time, Ed and Gordon, snuck and pretended to be Krill at one time. So while this is going on, there is a woman giving a very rousing speech about how she doesn't want this whole partnership with the Union and the Krill to be. And this woman looks so familiar. I'm just like, why does she look familiar? It's hard because all that prosthetic. I'm like, could that be that woman that Ed interacted with a long time ago? It is. I forget her name exactly. It starts with an S. Something with an S or a C. I'm just gonna call her Serena. I can't think of her name, but Serena is the only thing I can think of, so I'm just gonna call her Serena. So yeah. So basically, she's running for election on some extreme rhetoric. Basically, she's not a politician. She don't know what she's doing, but she's an extremist, rhetoric type person, who doesn't like people who basically just don't look like her. Sound familiar? so so they send in a way, not really an away mission. Is more like a greeting party. So it's like Charlie, Ed, the one admiral who was in Legends of Tomorrow, the president of Earth, who's an alien, and I want to say somebody else, but I can't. Oh, another woman, some other diplomat lady, and so who's an alien, and so they go there, and the CGI looks somewhat good, somewhat fake. We get to see what Earth looks like in the city, and also the Krill city at night, and both of them look like. Remember the prequels, the Star Wars, how CGI the cities look? It's like that, but more video game-ish looking. And so, they're there and everything, and they meet with this one councilman, and then some problems are happening. The problems are he's losing the election. Now the council dude, I think a chancellor, what is his name? I think he's played by the dude who was Tron, And so he's losing and he's outraged. And so Ed and all of them have been made aware of what that woman has been saying and stuff. Also, when it comes to the chancellor dude, somebody fabricated him like killing a bunch of protesters and stuff like that. Somebody like just made it up in like like a holographic like imagery. Basically, it's her smearing him. And so while they're there, it turns out he's losing so bad that she's basically the winner. And so she already declared herself winner and sent the guards to like grab him and arrest the Union people. So when she takes him out to the front of the people, she stabs the chancellor dude and kills him. So Ed and them are like in a prison and everything. And at some point, the Krill ships that were surrounding the Orville starts firing on them. So Kelly gets on out of there and tells Lamar, initiate Order 22. And he's like, are you sure you really want to do that? And she's like, yes. And she's like, go get the doctor. I'm like, what is Order 22? And so they hide in like a meteor field and stuff, so they won't be detected. And so they contact the Union people and they're sending ships to like help them out. Once they get a fleet of about like 30 ships, they're on their way. By this time, Ed has been taken to that woman, Serena, and they have a long chat and everything, how he can't believe she's doing all this and talking about how she doesn't want their two people to like, be together and stuff and have like this alliance. She talking about how their people military has advanced where they can take on the Kazon by themselves. Not Kazon, crap. Is it Kazon? I'm starting to forget. Anyway, the robotic people, Isaac people. Kalon, that's it. Kalon. That's it. So anyway, she sends him away with the guards, but then they tell him to put on a cloak. I'm just like, what's going on? So they take him through the city streets, and there's like this vendor with meat in his hand. He's just acting like an idiot. Then all of a sudden, him and some other people start firing on those guards. And then they take Ed to like this building that's like very far away. And this woman informs him that Serena, whatever her name is, still has feelings for Ed and that she was going to send him back to the ship, but they intercepted that because they want him to see something, and that something is a half human, half Krill daughter, his daughter. Now I totally forgot that those two was knocking boots a long time ago. That's how long the Orville's been out and stuff with the what virus screwing up the third season. And so they tell him like, it's best that she doesn't know you're the father. And when it comes to the mother put the girl in their care. She has never met the girl. Basically, if her people find out that she made a baby with a human, they will revolt and they will pretty much like take the power away from her and stuff. So he's all like, so you want me to like expose her? And they're like, no. And they all like persuade her to like give up this like craziness because they want to join the humans and stuff. And I'm just like, that's what you want? So I'm just like, if you expose her and they show that, hey, humans ain't that bad and look at the beautiful baby we made, then that might persuade some people. But but she's already riled those people up to where they're ready to take over the planet and stuff. So this is also kind of like, the 2016 election, the insurrection, and also that one Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode where the Federation and the Klingons are at odds with each other because of the whole the Dominion War stuff and the founders. And so like, and that's when you remember the Klingons broke away from the treaty that they made with the Federation. So it's kind of similar to that. And then so like he goes back to her and she's all like, you're a fool, why'd you come back here? I sent you to your ship. And he tells her about the girl and everything. Basically, it does not persuade her. And now she really is going to execute him and the rest of those soldiers and stuff. Now, before I say that, let me get to the whole Charlie part. Now, there was a really funny scene in the holodeck where they're at like a Western playing poker. It was like the whole crew. And then Isaac comes in with a cowboy hat and a mustache. And Charlie was being her rude little self talking about, well, there goes the fun. I'm so sick and tired of her character. If it doesn't pay off by the end of the season, then she was just pointless. But not only that, nothing against the actress, but I don't see no point in her character. Like, why is she here? Like, she's just a navigator. You know what I'm saying? What good is she doing really for this ship? And so I just think it was like a pointless character. And I miss Alara and everything. And also, she was the one who helped navigate to the Creole planet. And I'm just like, they couldn't find somebody else to do that, or like an actual pilot or something like that. Like, what is really the point? Like, their away teams are so weird. So, in a way, he rejoins his crew and they're ready to be executed. But then, all of a sudden, well, she stabs the president. And so all of a sudden, you see two Krill with like these flash bombs and they rescue the Orville crew. It turns out to be Lamar and the doctor dressed as Krill. That's what Order 22 is. Dress up as an alien and then infiltrate the planet and get the away team out. I'm just like, that's what that is? They made it seem like it was so big, so special. So this is kind of like becoming a disappointing episode, and the jokes aren't really landing either. Especially when Ed saw like, "Can I have a cup of coffee?" when he was in the prison, when the admiral was demanding to talk to like the chancellor and stuff. So anyway, they make it back to the Orville, but there's space battle going on. There's plenty good space battle, so it was nice to see. Once they get back on board the ship, they hightail it on out of there. And so then they're back on Earth, and for some bizarre reason, and it's Kelly and it's Ed, and they're talking about the child he has and like how he misses her and all this other stuff, but he barely knows her, and how so the Admiral wants to expose that child to the Creole people, but Ed's all like no, because the child didn't ask for none of this. And so then it ends, and I'm just like, that's it. Like, what was the payoff in this? You went so political twice with the election and also abortion. So he asked her, why did you even have the kid for? And she said, they don't abort their babies. Basically what they do, they take them to like a holographic simulation. They take the DNA of both parents who aborted their kid and they make a holographic projection of that baby, talking about why'd you kill me, blah, 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 stuff like that. And so, okay, so it went political in both those ways, but there was no real payoff towards the end. The Krill and the Union peace treaty is over. She has now taken over. She's like mad with power, and it's just like now they're gonna have to deal with the Kalon and the Krill. So what the world was the real payoff and stuff in this? If they're doing like a Deep Space Nine story arc, like they did in the fourth season, then it will pay off. But so far, it doesn't seem to be that way because there's still episodic random episodes and stuff. So I don't really know what's going on. So this was kind of like a disappointing episode because it had no real payoff and stuff. And also, the away team that rescued them, I get the doctor went. Oh, by the way, the president's fine. Even though he got stabbed. I know where the doctor went to see if anybody's hurt. But why did they send Lamar? He's an engineer. Why didn't they send Talia or something like that to rescue a security team? That would make more sense. She's she's security officer. Or send Bortis. He's the tactical officer. She's security. He's tactical. Why not send them? Why send the engineer for it? That makes literally no sense. And now him and Talia are gonna start like a thing now. So that's like the most random thing ever. And there's no build up to that. Like with Troy and Worf, there was actual build up to that. And Worf and Dax, there was build up to that. And then Ezra and Bashir and Worf, there was build up to that. But with this is like absolutely come out of like left field and stuff. So it's just a disappointing episode all around. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.